Hello. As you all know, I've been currently reading the Hello Kitty series on here, along with doing different ASMR videos. But I made a massive mistake with this one, doing these series. Okay, so this book has 2 books in it, and we normally get these types of videos done in 3. But anyway, we have another 2 Christmas stories, so technically you have like 4 or 5 during November and December, and I'll try and pump out as many makeup videos and other tapping content as I can in the meantime. But anyway, this is Hello Kitty, the Christmas present, and this is the Hello Kitty special. So it says on the back, Merry Christmas from Hello Kitty and Friends. It's Christmas time. Hello Kitty School is going to have a Christmas tree and put on a show, but nothing seems to be going right at all. Can she and her friends find a way to save the day and give everyone the perfect Christmas present? With 2 special stories and a bonus activities section, you can have a Hello Kitty Christmas too. So, as always, in the front, it shows you everything. Story 1, The Christmas Tree. Story 2, The Christmas Show. So we're going to be reading The Christmas Tree. So we have all of our regular characters, but dressed up in Hello Kitty theme. Story 1, The Christmas Tree. Christmas. Chapter 1. Christmas is coming. Hello Kitty crossed her arms and sat up as straight as she could as Miss Davy, her teacher, looked around the class. Hello Kitty was wishing hard that Miss Davy would call on her. Every day since the first day of December, Miss Davy had chosen one person to go up to the front and open the next door of the Advent calendar. I remember doing this at school. Miss Davy's eyes settled on Hello Kitty and she smiled. Today would be Hello Kitty's turn. Hello Kitty jumped to her feet and hurried to Miss Davy's desk. She found the little door marked with number 5 and opened it carefully. What would the picture be? It was a beautiful Christmas tree decorated with coloured balls and tinsels. Miss Davy asked Hello Kitty to carry the calendar around to show it to the whole class. She hoped that the class would make sure the school's very own tree looked just as beautiful by the end of the day. They all nodded excitedly. Their class had been picked to decorate the school Christmas tree. It was going to be delivered at lunchtime and they were going to get out the decorations and make it lovely and festive. Hello Kitty felt just super even thinking about it. She loved Christmas, she loved everything about it, especially putting up the decorations, singing carols, hanging up her stocking, and the presents, of course. Hello Kitty gave the Advent calendar back to Miss Davy, who hung it on the wall. She told the class to use the last 10 minutes before lunch to finish off the Christmas stories they were writing. Hello Kitty sat down with dear Daniel, Fifi and Tammy. The 4 of them were such good friends that they had started their very own friendship club. They had meetings at each other's houses and made things baked, had sleepovers and went on outings. It was great. They also made up rules about Friendship Club. They had quite a few so far, like good friends are always there when you need them most. Good friends never need to show off to each other. Good friends come in all shapes and sizes. Hello Kitty picked up her pen. She wasn't ready to finish off her story just yet. She wanted to talk about Christmas. She wished it wasn't still 20 days away. That was ages. Tammy whispered that she was sure the time would fly by. There was so much to do, as well as having the tree to decorate. They would be doing all sorts of interesting things at school. Miss Davy had told them they were going to bake a chocolate cake called a Christmas log, make Christmas cards for their parents, sew some mini Christmas stockings, and learn some new Christmas songs. Dear Daniel and Fifi nodded, and there was their year group's Christmas play, of course. Hello Kitty felt a little leap of excitement. She didn't know what the play was yet, but she had volunteered to help organise it. She was going to a meeting about it at lunchtime. She really wanted to be the costume designer, but even if she couldn't do the costume, she would be happy helping with anything at all. She just wanted to be involved. Hello Kitty loved organising things. Bring. The lunch bell went off. Everyone put down their pens before they left. Miss Davy reminded them that some of the older years were doing a sponsor silence that day in aid of Paws, a local animal shelter, and she didn't want anyone to disturb them or make them talk. Miss Davy had got her dog Spot from Paws. The more money they raised, the better. There would be lots of animals in the shelter at Christmas, and the helpers there needed money to buy food, blankets, and Christmas treats. It was a very good cause. Everyone agreed not to disturb them, and then Miss Davy let them go for lunch. Hello Kitty said goodbye to Fifi, Tammy, and dear Daniel and hurried off to the library for her meeting. She was going to be able to help with costumes, and what was the play going to be? She simply couldn't wait to find out. Chapter 2. Exciting news. Hello Kitty sat down with 8 other girls and boys. Her teacher, Miss Davy, was there with another teacher. Miss Davy would be organising all the acting, singing, dancing in the play, and the other teacher would be helping her. Hello Kitty got her sparkly pink notepad out of her bag and her matching pen so she could make notes. She opened her pad and wrote the heading. The Christmas Show. Oh, she hoped she'd be able to have something to do with the costumes. Miss Davy was delighted. They all wanted to help. She told them that she needed people to help paint the scenery and then move the scenery during the actual play, and people to organise the costumes and also the props, the small things that actors would carry on stage with them. She would also need someone to remind the actors if they forgot their lines. One of the other girls asked what the play would be. Miss Davy smiled. It was going to be a very Christmassy show. They were going to be doing the Nutcracker. Hello Kitty gasped in delight. She loved the Nutcracker. It was normally performed as a ballet, and Hello Kitty loved to dance. Miss Davy said there would definitely be some dancing in it, but they would be doing it as a play with singing. It was about a girl called Clara who was given a wooden nutcracker on Christmas Eve. The nutcracker looked like a soldier. Her brother Fritz broke the nutcracker, and Clara was very sad. But then at midnight, the nutcracker came alive after winning a fierce battle against the Mouse King. He whisked Clara away to the land of sweets and introduced her to an amazing characters like the Sugar Plum Fairy. Clara had an amazing time before coming home just in time for Christmas with her family. Hello Kitty's mind raced as everyone else started to talk about it. She could already see some of the costumes in her head. The Sugar Plum Fairy would wear pale pink, maybe a ballet tutu, and glittery top. Clara would be in a pretty white nightgown. Clara's little brother Fitz would wear shorts and a waistcoat. Miss Davy clapped her hands to stop the excited chatter. It was time to decide who was going to do what. Hello Kitty listened carefully as Miss Davy asked who would like to do the scenery. Almost everyone put up their hands. Miss Davy wrote their names down and then asked who would like to do the costumes. Hello Kitty nervously put her hand up. She was the only one. Miss Davy smiled at her. Hello Kitty would be the costume designer. She felt like jumping up and down with joy. Hooray, she was happy. Miss Davy said that some of the other teachers had volunteered to make the costumes, but Hello Kitty could design them. It would be a lot of work, but Hello Kitty didn't mind at all. Drawing clothes never felt like work to her. They finished off deciding who was going to do what, then Miss Davy told them the meeting was over and they should go and have their lunch. The auditions were going to be the next morning. Anyone who wanted to have a main part needed to audition, and then she and some of the other teachers would choose who would just be right for each part. Hello Kitty pushed her notebook into her bag and hurried off out of the library. She couldn't wait to find the others and tell them all about it. Where would she find them? She checked the lunch hall, but they weren't in there. So she ate her lunch quickly while making some sketches for costumes. Afterwards, she set off to look for them again. Suddenly, she had an idea, of course. The Christmas tree, it was supposed to be being delivered that lunchtime. Maybe they were helping with that. Hello Kitty hurried to the school reception area. As she opened the doors, she saw her friends standing around the tree with Miss Brown, the head teacher, and some of the other school staff. Hello Kitty frowned and looked worried. Whatever was the matter? And then she realised the tree's branches were all broken. It must have happened when it was being delivered. There were pine needles all over the floor too. Oh no, what were they going to do? They couldn't decorate a tree which didn't have any branches. Miss Brown was shaking her head, saying that the school couldn't afford another tree to replace the broken one. This was so terrible. It looked like they weren't going to have a Christmas tree in the school this year after all. Right, let me see. Okay. So the next chapter is quite long, so we'll carry